Well, hello everybody. Let's get going. We're going to grab some titanium white, a little bit of paint thinner, and some Prussian blue and mix it up in this bowl. And we're going to cover the top of this canvas. We don't want to cover the whole thing, just some areas where we think a sky could be. And we're going to work it into this 24 by 24 inch linen canvas. We're using oil paints today. Now, this will be our very, very first step. We want to cover the canvas so it's not white. Get some of that sky color in there. Why not? I'm going to take a blue paper towel. See the shop towel? It's nice and firm. Doesn't leave behind any residue. So this is what's going to work it into the canvas. We want to remove all of the excess paint. I want this really just to stain the canvas. That way we can paint darker colors over it. If you've worked with oil paints before, you can know how tricky that is. Oil paints are tricky. So we're going to just take off all the excess. Finding a new part, clean part of the paper towel. Work that away. I'm wearing these protective gloves. And we've got so many colors we're working with today. Titanium white, burnt umber, burnt sienna, Prussian blue, dioxazine purple, sap green, permanent green light, yellow ochre, cadmium yellow, cadmium orange, and at the very end here, some phthalo turquoise. That will be exciting to use later. Well, I think I'm very happy with this, and it's looking good. Good first step. Okay, now moving down, let's introduce a distant cliff. I want to have a little bit of ocean down here. So let's grab some purple. This is always the fun first step here, working in some different tones, establishing what we're going to do here. Let's work in a distant cliff. Kind of comes down like that. Very good. Now with the same paper towel, we're just going to rub it around. Take away all the excess paint. Well, welcome to therapy, my painting therapy. This is my therapy time. I'm not a therapist, but these paints sure are. They're my therapist. And painting has helped me in so many ways, and it can help you too. Or you can just watch, and this can be a nice session for you to see an artist working. I think that's important. It can be relaxing. It can be nice. So sit back and relax. And by the end of this video, we're going to have a full painting. I don't cut. I step back once in a while and reassess, but we're just going to keep going here until we're happy. Okay, I like that. See? Distant cliff. Now, up front here, even closer, let's grab some burnt umber and a little bit of Prussian blue. Keep that dark. I want to keep this really dark up front. We can have some darker values. And you can see here that laying out these values in this order is giving us some depth already. We already have depth here. Lighter, a little bit darker, darker. Darkest towards us. And that's a little trick that artists use to create more depth. There. Gonna just dab this. We can have some bushes and things. That'll be very nice. Look at that. See? So easy. Easy, easy. All right, I'm going to take off this glove, get a new paper towel. I hold a paper towel in my left hand. It's the way I do things. Okay, let's think here for a minute. I want to have some distant cliffs here, but I want the sunlight hitting portions. Let's grab some paint thinner, some yellow ochre. Put that right there. And a lot of white. Let's mix those colors together. A little bit of purple. This purple goes a long way, so you got to be careful. Some more yellow ochre. And some more white. Thinking about a warm cliff side here. A little bit more white. Okay, I like that. I like that consistency. I like everything about it. All right, we're going to come through here and just be messy. Just have a messy old time. Kind of coming up with different ideas here for what could be happening with these rocks. where the sun is hitting. Just having a good old time here. Not thinking too much. That's the trick. Let your mind just go blank. Someone mentioned in the comments the other day, I was looking through YouTube comments, as I sometimes do, even though I'm not technological. It's difficult to understand technology these days. But someone mentioned, hey, you kind of paint like a kid. I do that on purpose. I reject technique. I try to just let my mind go and just be free. Let's add more white. Get this even brighter. A little bit of yellow. Hot, bright. A little bit more yellow. Let that sun just sing through here. There we go. Bright. Bright cliffside. That's just glorious. A little bit lighter parts here too. See that? A little bit lighter. Different values, creating different ideas. Let's grab some of this Prussian blue, make a light blue. We can just sprinkle this here and there. A little bit more burnt umber added to that, tone it down. A little bit of purple, a little bit. There we go. Just have some different tones here, working through these cliffs. There we go. Okay. Might not look like much, but I have a plan. I do. I have a plan. Right here. This is a big scraper. What I want to do, first I want to add a few more little cliffs, little rugged things through here. Working our way down. Okay. A few more little purple areas. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Check this out. We're going to scrape away the excess paint like this. And it'll make this cliff seem farther away, a little bit blurry. No bumps or anything, flat texture. That texture with oil paint really matters. Because this is a three-dimensional object, and the oil paint will literally catch the light in the room and reflect in different ways. So I am managing those reflections here, keeping in mind the actual viewer in real life. Some paintings photograph well, others don't. And that's okay. Paintings are meant to be enjoyed in person, I believe. Okay, let's have a little bit more blue here, a little bit lighter of a blue. Just kind of working our way through here. A little bit more little things here and there. Break up some of these areas, hitting the canvas. There. Oh, I'm really liking that. That's just fantastic. Let's grab, keeping this big brush here, let's grab some more white, get some even brighter cliff areas, just here and there. Even brighter than that. A lot of white. There we go. Even brighter. Let that sun just sing in some areas. There. And now we can scrape it away again. Cleaning this, scraping this away. There. See how it makes it kind of look far away, blurry? Excellent. That's what I wanted. All right, we are going to clean a little portion of this so we can just keep having some room. I'm going to put this color to the side here. Let it live right there. Now, here in the middle, let's mix up some dark tree tones. You know, let's use this ratty old fan brush. I love this thing. Let's grab some purple first, right here. A little bit of paint thinner. Let's grab some Prussian blue. Let's grab a little bit of yellow ochre right here. A little bit. Oh, I like that. A little bit more. A little bit of purple. I want to get something that's far away looking. A little bit dirt, a little bit of white. Let's try that. Let's lift it up. Okay. All right. That's looking good. Okay. This will be our tree shadow color. That paint thinner is important. That's really thinning that down. And as we go forward, we'll use less and less of this. You'll see. Okay. Let's get in these purple trees on this cliff. I want pine trees by the ocean. That's what I'm interested in today. So let's think. Well, what could be happening here? Sort of a little bit more white, a little bit lighter. See, the lighter it is, the farther away it'll look. We can get a little bit darker as we come forward. Okay, so pine trees. Right up to the edge here, just living right on the edge of this cliff. And I love the natural scrubby texture that this brush gives me. This brush is just great. Sometimes my oldest brushes are my favorite. You might relate. Let's make it a little bit darker as we keep going forward here. Burnt umber, yellow ochre, more purple. All right. Yeah, good. Look at that. I like that texture. I like everything about that. Lovely. Down here, it's nice and thick. Look at that. No detail, just scrubby things. Okay, as we get closer to us, because this cliff's coming towards us, I want to have some more sap green, because these are trees after all. So let's introduce that sap green. Pretty dark, but not too dark. We'll add some yellow ochre to it. There we go. That is our tree shadow color as we keep coming closer. Scrub that in. Painting to me should be an internal performance. That's what being an artist is all about for me. I am an artist. I don't consider myself to be an oil painter, believe it or not. I'm using oil paints. I'm not a master oil painter. I'm an artist. And that can sound pretentious to admit. I do understand. But the day I accepted that I was an artist was a big deal for me. I needed that. I needed to be able to accept that. Maybe you are like that. Just accept you're an artist. You're different. Artists are more sensitive. They need to create. They see the world differently than other people, and that's okay. And it can be hard to be an artist. It's not easy. It's not always easy. Okay. That's good. I like it. Let's scrub it away again. Make it look far away. Just scrubbing. Very good. Love it. Love it, love it. Let's grab this paper towel here and just make a mess. I just want to have some of this. We can go over this area too. Just make a mess. Doesn't matter. Drag that down. Good. There we go. Okay, hey, since we're here, let's add some highlights. Let's add some yellow and yellow ochre to this green. Not too bright. Let's work this in here. A little bit brighter, a little bit brighter. Yellow ochre, a little bit of yellow. There. Okay. Little things that are closer to us now, in front of these darker areas, will stand out with this texture as well. I like that. All right. Okay, now let's add kind of these together. See that? Making that more purple as we go farther away. Not as much of a big deal here. Let's add some orange to it. Let's warm it up. Make it look hot. Oh, I like that. Let's add some more orange. That's good. Through there. Ooh, that's really working. Oh, that's just great. Right off the edge there. Let these things just try to get over the edge. All right, little brush. Let's grab this little brush and have some fun. Let's grab some white, mix it in with this purpley color, just as long as it's lighter than what we have. And we can start making some little marks up and down here. Little sticks and things that are happening far away. Just hit the canvas, interrupt those. There, perfect. Taking our big brush, I want to bring back a few purpley darker areas here. Burnt umber, purple, pretty dark. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Let's a little bit of Prussian blue. There, not too much. Let's bring out some shadows again. Here through there. See that? A little bit of a darker tone there. Adding some dimensionality to these cliffs. Something there. Okay. Just lovely. Just grand. And again, scrape away. Kind of have those recede into the background, not be as important. Kind of ups and downs. Think about these cracks. Okay, now let's clean up this area again. Put this to the side here. We're just being so messy today. It's great. I love it. Love making a mess. Let's now mix up a very, very dark tree color. I want to put in some pine trees in the foreground. And we'll continue putting things in the background here. But I want to work in some dark pine trees. So let's first, you know what I want to do? I want to grab, I've never done this before, but it just came to me. I want to grab some paint thinner because this takes away paint, right? Let's take away paint. I want to have a tree. Never done this quite like this before, but let's see if it works. Heck, let's do that again. Let's grab some more paint thinner and let's put another tree right next to it. Kind of coming down right here. Kind of crooked. Doesn't have to be perfect. We don't want perfect nature because nature isn't. I like to say you are nature. Your hand is part of nature. Don't forget that. You have permission here. And if you just give up, I think that's important. Give up and stop trying so hard and just play. Art comes naturally. I think that's what art is, and we forgot it. We think we need to learn it. No, art is how we learn. Now, art isn't something to be learned, it's how we learn. That's what I think. It's something to do, but it's not something to learn as much. Technique is something to learn, but not art. Okay, let's put another one right here. It's thin up top and then gets more and more right down to there. Kind of alone. I like that. That way we have a little window to this area in the background. So just sort of like that. Now, let's have some fun here. I'm going to take this paper towel and take away some pigment. I'm going to take away some of the paint that's here all the way down, giving us permission to put more paint down. Because with paint like this, oil paint, you can't just keep painting on top of it and on top of it. It'll get all muddy. So this is a good technique here. Take away that paint. Take it away. Nice. Okay, let's take our big bright again, and let's grab some burnt umber and Prussian blue, and we'll put those together and we'll make a black. We can also grab some purple and some turquoise. Very, very dark color. And let's add some more burnt umber, just to keep it on the brown side, but keep it very dark as well. Okay, now let's start at the top here and start putting in our dark color. Let that really be in charge here. Used to take up this whole area because I want these backlit. I want these very, very dark. There. Now remember, this is not the Bob Ross method. There is no method here. In my episodes here, I change things up. I do things differently from episode to episode. It's just my therapy time. That's what this is. My therapy session, which is why I call it painting therapy. My goal isn't to exactly have a beautiful finished painting, it's to have a good time. And from that, the finished painting emerges. That's how we get a good painting, by having a good time. The moment we start doubting ourselves and wallowing in self-pity and thinking I'm not a good artist, that's when art can't come from us. That's when it doesn't work. That's sad. So let's not do that. There. See these? Big pine trees right up front. That's fun. Hey, we can take some of this dark color and just kind of put some more through here. Give ourselves permission to have some dark stuff down here. Really dark stuff. Up here like that, on the side of the canvas. That's good. And again, this is going to make it seem closer to us. We can add some more blue down here. Really dark. Okay. Something like that. That's good. And we can scrape it away. Don't want too much paint again, but that value can remain in the canvas. There. You know, I never use it, but let's grab this liner brush. Very, very thin brush. Grab some paint thinner with this dark color that we were working with earlier. Let's put in, and let's grab some turquoise, add that to it. Let's put in some very, very dark branches. Yeah, well, we could start here and just sort of think tree branch. Random stuff will start to emerge. That's fun. Something can come up like that, come this way. I live in Arizona, and in northern Arizona, we have beautiful pine trees with beautiful views, with cliffs like this, but no water. And so the other day I was just imagining, hey, you know what? I want to have some water, some ocean water. I want it to look like the ocean. Pine trees by the ocean. Why not? That's what I want. That's where I want to go. That's what painting's all about. Transporting yourself to a new place, somewhere you've invented. It's almost like you're an explorer discovering a new place, making a new place. It can feel like that. It can be very liberating to go into the painting. So I encourage you to do that when you're painting, to go into it. Try to lose yourself in the painting itself, like on Mary Poppins. There's a reason why that's in the movie, I think. All right, that's just great. A lot of little things happening. Little things. Okay, let's try this tree here. Something up, over, weird, thicker. There. Let them be random. We don't need anything that's normal here, just weird stuff. Weird stuff. A little bit more paint thinner. There we go. Stuff coming off of these. Here, something like that. Something big coming off towards us. Like that. More little things. A little thing down there. A little thing here too. There. He's just lovely. I really like that. That is fantastic. Have some more. I want to have a bunch of big branch coming right here. That'll be great. Bunch of stuff. Okay. Now, well, let's grab our fan brush again, because this thing is just so much fun. And let's grab this dark color, add a little bit of sap green to it, burnt umber. So we want a dark, bluish, greenish pine tree color here. Here. Let's see here. Dark. Yep. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want. Dark. Raggedy. A lot of wind. Messy. There. Put another one here. Really good. Silhouetted there against the sky. Just a bunch of these pine needles just hanging on to this branch. See that? That's what we want. Okay, a bunch up here. Let's just have so many dark areas. Messy. Coming this way. All the way over here. Why not? Put a lot of dark branches up here. Coming from this tree. This one's closer to us, so we're not going to see as much at the top, but I do want to have darkness up here. Just so we know that it gets bigger. It keeps going, you know? You can have some through here. Remember, this is a dirty, scratchy old brush. I've used it for so long that it's just messed up. Sometimes I use scissors and I cut my brushes just so they can be different. Brushes are your tools. You can be different with your brushes too, you know? Okay, darkness through here. Through here. Oh, let's make this all very, very dark up here. Up off the canvas to the top. Someone might see up there someday. That matters. Sigh a little bit. Very good. Okay, what I want to do now is use my paper towel and sort of just take away excess paint. Go like this. That'll feel like pine needles, right? Take away the excess paint. Dabbing these areas. We could have just done all of this with a paper towel. That would have worked too. All right. Ooh, let's come down here with this fan brush and let's put in some bushes. Let's have some fun down here. Scratchy bushes. Just with whatever we have left here. Up against the side of these trees. I want some more sap green. They're closer to us. They can be a little bit more vibrant. Some burnt umber added. More sap green. Just let these trees be thick. Or these bushes here. That's good. Messy, dark green. Fantastic. Oh, look at that. That's great. Glorious, glorious. You know, I just keep imagining a branch right off of the side here. I want to put another branch right here, coming this way. Pretty big, just kind of coming off like that. Make this a little bit thicker. There. There. I want to put some pine needles now. Some paint thinner right through here. Just put some more. Growing right through here. There we go. Lovely, lovely. I think it's time now to turn our attention to this corner and paint some ocean here. So let's move this green paint. Let's grab a little filbert brush, this little guy right here, and let's mix up just a blue ocean color here. Let's grab some white, some Prussian blue, mix those together. A little bit more Prussian. Let's put in the idea here of the ocean. I want it brighter. We'll grab some more Prussian blue, put that on the palette. There we go. Okay, let's add some more blue to this and a lot of white. There we go. Some more white. I want this to be pretty thick paint. A little bit of purple, not too much. There we go, a little bit of purple. Okay, so we're going to take this color, and we're going to put it right over here. A little bit more white. There we go. A little bit of paint thinner. Okay. This is our distant water here. Kind of goes like this. Down through here. We got some more through here. Let's get that water through here. All the way down to the base. We can kind of wipe away what's there. Get that out of the way. Introduce this new color here. That'll be fun. On the side of the canvas, the bottom there. Nice. Kind of coming that way. Sideways, going back and forth. Wonderful. Now we can grab some more white. Look at this. We could put in some highlights here. Just with a lot of bright areas. Like this. Back and forth. See that? Starting to look like water. We're going to grab some more white. You know what? Let's have the water come through here. There we go. I want to see what happens if I scrape this right down. There we go. Makes it look farther away. That's fantastic. Okay, I want to start now thinking about this distant sky. And by the ocean, I'd really like to have some turquoise, some bright turquoise colors. I think this will make the sky look like it has more depth. It's farther away. It's getting farther away down here. Let's take this bright turquoise color and brighten up the sky down here with this little brush, like this. That's exactly what I want. A little bit more white. I guess it wasn't exactly what I wanted. The consistency is, there we go. Bright. Thick paint. All the way to the horizon. Blending that horizon. There we go. That matters. The edge here. Making the sky brighter like this farther away makes it look farther away. Makes things appear to have more depth. Right against this cliff here, we can make it a little bit drop like that. Go against there, change things up. Whatever we want. Go up against that. But mostly back and forth. Ooh, this is just great. This is really working. Let's keep going up here around the tree, and we can leave some space up to these. That's okay. We can see some of that blue peek through. But then we could also put this color kind of in between some of these areas. Like that. We can keep going up and up all the way through here. Messy on purpose, just having a good old time. But if you're painting along, paint any way you want to. That's what's important. To not copy somebody else's joy or the way they're doing things. Do it the way you want to. So a real sign of you being an artist would be watching me and saying, I wouldn't do it that way. That is the sign. That means you have an opinion, that you want to do it. So grab a brush, canvas, you paint too. That's important. Glorious. Right through here, same kind of through here, some through here. Brighten those areas up so it's like the sky's poking through. Little things here and there, right up against the trunk there. See that? Sky is showing through. All right, let's take this purple color again, mix it with this white. Let's come up here for the sky. Let's put in this color here, just right up to the tree. That's going to look great. Once in a while, we can come closer to it, kind of like that. Bring out some areas we want to see better. Through here. But there's a lot of thick paint here, going right up to things. I think this is fun. And it'll catch the light when you see the painting in person as you walk around. It'll be quite the experience. Something like that. A little bit through here that we see. Little bits of bright stuff. Between these trees here. It's good. And through here. That's fun. Right up to that blue. Right up to the trees. Let's grab some more white and let's mix up just a teeny bit of yellow, not too much. Let's put some pretty bright clouds kind of coming through here, coming down. I think this will bring the eye down, be a nice little element here, like that. There. That's feeling nice. Beautiful colors. You know, I want to focus down here and sort of have some fun with this area for a while before we move on. Think about what can be happening here with the light, etc., and what can be happening with the trees. That's just great. Okay, let's think here. First, let's make a very, very dark color right through here. Burnt umber and blue. Paint thinner. And let's think about some dark rocks that could be happening right through here. You can put in the shadow part of these rocks. I like to have rocks and dirt kind of mixed up, living in the same world. So let's get these dark tones in first. A little bit of purple added to that. There. Shadowy dark areas. Something like that. Now we can scrape off the excess, keep it dark. I'm just going sideways on these trees, trying to create some shape and interest, thinking about what could happen. Taking away from some excess paint. Extra paint. There. All right, let's grab our fan brush and kind of go to town with some highlights through here. Let's grab some of this permanent green light and some sap green, some yellow ochre. Mix something together. Let's grab some burnt sienna, mix that in with it. Some orange too. There we go, I'm liking that. Something warm, yet green. I want some more sap green on this palette here. Replenishing the colors. Okay, let's add some more sap green to that. And a little bit of blue, why not? Okay, let's put in a few brighter areas. little bit of yellow ochre added, and yellow. Just here and there, not too much. We really don't need too much of this. Ooh, let's add some orange and have some scratchy stuff happening right through here. That's fun. Right here in the corner, let's grab some yellow, some orange. Just work in some dark orange stuff. There we go. And then over here, let's work in some cooler blue tones. We can get this dark color with this, add some green to it and some blue. But I want something cooler. There we go. See that? A little bit darker at first, and we can add some lighter stuff. Right here, see this? Right through there, these little bits of grass. And some darker tones as well. There, with some sap green added. And we can scrape away any extra that we have. So we can keep working. Great. Okay, taking this filbert brush. Let's start thinking about some rocks we can put in. Let's grab some purple, add it to this blue. I don't want it too light. Don't want it too dark. Don't want it too purple. Not too gray, not too boring. Something right through here. Let's see. We put in some thick tops of rocks in specific areas. See that? Thick though, so they really pop on us. They stand out. There. Something like that. Now we can grab some lighter blue and just have a few lighter blue rocks. Here and there. Just, that's a good color to add to that. Okay, all right, let's use some burnt sienna. Just grab some right here, plain, right on. And remember, I'm not using paint thinner right now. Just the paint. And this is thick paint. These are from Gamblin, that's the brand. And Gamblin paints are very, very thick. They don't pay me to sponsor them. Oh wow, you know what? This feels like a pine tree to me. I'm gonna start putting these little things. Some of these pine trees. Ups and downs. Just to start establishing that's what's happening here. There. Okay, some more sideways. Oh, actually, I want to put some through here. Why not? Some orange. That's great. Okay, coming down. The land's coming down like that. And now with the knife, I want to scrape off some excess. Just quick. Just quick. Back and forth. Okay, I'm going to go over some of these rocks again, a little bit darker. A little bit more burnt umber added. A little bit darker. I don't want this area too sunny, too bright. because what I want to do is let's add some grass. Let's kind of get this grass to be pale and kind of dry looking. Ups and downs, little scratchy things with this brush. But then what I want to try to do here, let's try this. I want to put some bright sunlight right here. So let's grab more yellow and white. We'll mix these together. So yellow and white right here. Sort of combine these to make something that's just a little bit too bright. A little bit too crazy. And warm. I want to add some more orange to this. Warm it up. Something where the sun can really hit right here. So orange, yellow, bunch of white, messy, doesn't matter. Okay. Let's put in some sunlight right through here. See, when we have a bunch of dark colors that are dark enough and then bright colors next to them, that's what we get the impression of. We get the impression of sunlight. That's why this is kind of impressionism. Just our first reactions here from across the room. And that's why I step back. That's important to step back across the room. Right. Okay. And through here, let's just put a few little highlights on our very cool grass. Just some brighter blue highlights here and there. More depth. There. And we can get a little bit of this cooler green and put it through some of these areas through here too. Before we continue, I want to have some brighter sunlight on these distant cliffs. So we're going to grab our filbert brush, and I want to, this color right here is just fantastic. I'm going to add some more white to it. We'll use this, and then we'll scrape it away. But with this thick paint, right up to these trees, can really bring this up. I want some more white. More white, brighter, brighter. Some more white through there. Just get this brighter. Bright sunlight. Then scraping it away will make it farther away. But let's just use a lot and just have fun, just because it's fun. Let's get this right up to the trunk. There. Right through here. This bright sun. Very strong in areas, not as strong in others, but strong sunlight. And through here, see, and the reason why is because I want this tree to pop. I want this tree to just stand out. So if we put brighter colors behind it, it will appear darker and it'll stand out to the eye. That's an important thing with art, to have contrast. Some very sharp, hard contrast in areas. Right here, look right up to this tree. Make it really bright. That tree stands out. Put some more bright colors through here. I think when I scrape these away, I want to keep some parts more scraped, but then keep other parts bright and keep that thick paint in areas. Just make it haphazard. I think that'll be fun. Right up to there. There. Ooh, between these two trees. Check this out. See that? Brighter. And over here, see, all of these are standing out more, popping. And right over here, edge. There we go. Something like that. Okay, now taking our scraper. Let's just do a little bit at a time, thinking about cliffs, thinking ups and downs. Little bits. There. I really like that. We'll just make sure that this goes right up to some of these trunks here. Right up to them. Messy marks, little things. Put some on this side of this trunk here. There we go. And scrape it away. Okay, grabbing our fan brush, we are going to have a ball. I want to put some brighter highlights on some of these branches. So let's grab our yellow, mix it with that. Just and have it be thick. Good thick paint. More yellow. Okay. Some orange now too. I want this warm green. Okay. A little bit of sap green added. A lot of paint, thick sunlight, fun designs, fun textures. Where's the sun hitting? The top of these can be brighter. Right through here. Random marks. Be weird with it. Be quick with it. Through there. That's adding a lot of depth, a lot of texture and depth. A little bit through there. Just little bits, not too much, but little bits here and there. There we go. A little bit there. Okay, let's do what we've really been waiting for this whole time, which is the trunk texture. Making these pine trees unique, stand out, be something special, something to be proud of. So, let's first, you know what, I want to have some even darker elements. And for that, I want to do something I very seldom do on this show. I'm going to use black. I use it once in a while. Some straight up black. Clean my brush so it's nice and clean. Grab this thick black paint and make some marks. Up and down like pine tree texture. Now we don't need too much of this, but I just want to make sure that, especially down here at the base, these pine trees are dark enough. Up and down, thinking about bark. Fun marks. Up and down. Hear that canvas? It's a fun sound. Good texture too for the light to catch. And I'm seeing it, I'm moving from side to side, seeing what happens. Oh, just made a mark there. Might need to make that into a branch. Come down like that. Now let's mix up this, you know what, let's just use this purple color here. We'll add a little bit more purple to it. This is gonna be crazy. What am I thinking? Let's add some purple in the shadows here where the sun's not hitting. This will really give us more depth, an idea of what's happening here with the tree. It's not just flat. There's a lot happening there. Who would have thought? That really works. Purple on our pine trees. Purple pine trees. But in shadows, purple just look great sometimes. That's just what a wonderful color for the shadows. Cool. Warm in the highlights, cool in the shadows. Just a little bit on this guy, here and there, not too much. On the edge. There. Okay, now for some sunlight hitting these trees. Let's grab some more orange, put that on the palette. We'll grab some more yellow and put that on the palette. And some more yellow ochre. Man, I'm just being crazy today. Sometimes I'm more organized with my colors. Sometimes I just don't care. Today is one of those days. Yellow ochre. There we go. And we got some burnt sienna there. That'll be nice. Okay, let's grab our yellow. Put it right here with some yellow ochre. Mix those together. And a little bit of orange. Let's start with this. This is just a crazy, beautiful color. Gorgeous. Direct sunlight hitting part of these trees. Some direct, hard sunlight. Just grazing. And I'm barely touching the canvas. We don't need to tap too hard to just release this. And it breaks. See that? That's what we're after because it's just instant bark. Why not? Let's take that instant bark. Up here. Can hit through here. There. Shadows being cast in areas. Let's have it nice and bright up here. Show that off. Ooh, let's do some branches. Look at this. The top of that one. That one. That's working. Let's put some more through here. Let's have it be bright. Big branch coming off that way. Bright stuff through here. Let's grab some more of that. Let's add some burnt sienna to it. Some more yellow. Let's keep going. Different texture than the background. Introducing just a whole different world here that's going to pop. Okay, along this one here, let's let there be some just intense areas. Right here, we can let the sun hit this one. Why not? That one. Right there. And kind of come this way. Have some little things getting hit here and there inside here. That's good. All right, let's mix some white with some orange and some burnt sienna. Just make something bright and warm and orange. Very, very warm. There's different flavor, very different color. We can go through here again over some of these areas and add this different tone on top of what we already have. Little random areas. Multiple colors. We don't want to just get one color going. Lots of different things. Different values too. Let's add more white to it. Just make it brighter. We can hit the sides of some of these with even more sunlight. Look at this. Now putting this brighter color on top will really make these places look like the sun is very intense. So we don't need to do too much of this. But here and there, this really brings things up, amplifying it. Ooh, that's just great. Not too much. Right up here. I want to have some more fun with these pine trees. I want to add more limbs. I just like painting them. Let's grab our liner brush with some paint thinner and go over some of these areas again. Just adding more limbs. I want some more down here, kind of poking through. See that? Here and there. Paint thinner added, little things hanging off. Complicated. Scraggly guys, just hanging on. Maybe they've been through a wildfire or two. There's quite a those in Arizona. Quite a few of those. The other night we had an incredible storm by our house and all around our house. We had a lot of wind, and a branch from our tree in our front yard hit our cars and sort of crushed them a little teeny bit. Not too bad. Thank goodness for insurance, you know? Okay. Some more things happening. More life, more randomness. More character. Why not? These are my favorite things to paint. And then through here, we can add some highlights on the end of some of these. Just some brightness, some craziness, like this. Any excuse to have fun, why not? Hit some of these areas with some highlights. Okay, by this bright area right here, let's grab some of this permanent green light, which is what I wanted this for. Let's make some extremely bright green grass. This light is reflecting and hitting some just intense green here and there. This will really draw the eye to some of these areas. Pop. Just make them pop. Little bits here and there where the sun might be hitting, back here even. Little bits. Little bits through here. Sun is dancing once in a while, hitting some of these areas. There. Little bits through here. And some of these darker areas, we can make this purple a little bit brighter and just have some more fun with this purple here and there. Add some blue to it. Just brighten it up just a little bit. Now, add even more depth on these trees. Just on the edge. Not too far into them, but like this. See that? Into these shadows. There. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. See that? That's what it's all about right there. Glorious. I can't overdo that. That is the painting right there. That's why this painting exists, for this purple to live on these trees. This purple is giving me all the joy. I keep stepping back thinking, what's wrong? Well, this is what we needed. We needed some more purple. All the way up here. Some of these areas. There. Hitting the back of those. Let's have some fun with some orange, bright stuff in the background again. Kind of down here, giving some ruggedness to these rocks. Some rocks that live up here. Come down like that. But not too much. And with that, I think we have a finished painting, folks, and this was delightful for me. What a fun experience. Recently moved studios again, I think for the third or fourth time on this show. Keep changing locations on you. This was a fun experience painting in the new studio today and being here with you. And I'd like to say that art isn't about this. It isn't about the technique. It's about how you feel inside. And I'm trying to convey this idea. If you're an artist, you can feel it. You know that that's how it works. It comes out of you. And that's what makes a work of art. And I encourage you to live your life that way. That's why I do this, to train myself to approach life this way all the time. That's what makes an artist an artist. Being present in the moment, caring about the little things. That's the way to approach life. That's why I do this, and that's why probably you watch. You're seeking that. You want that. Together we can be artists, and we can be here, be present, and appreciate our lives, and appreciate nature, and know that we are nature. I am this. This was a self-portrait. I am this. You are this. We're nature together. And I'll see you guys next time. Sometimes I don't want these episodes to end, but they gotta end. See ya.
Thanks for watching, and thank you to our members for supporting Painting Therapy. As a member, enjoy early access to new videos before they're released to the public. Join a community and support Painting Therapy.